Hi everyone, welcome to Africa and Everywhere Conversations with Oge. It's your host, Oge Elumelu, and for today's guest, we have a special person. He's making a comeback, but the first time for our video interviews. He's the chairman of Hairs Holdings Group, UBA Group, and the founder of his own foundation. We have Mr. Tony Elumelu.
Good to see all of you.
Thank you for being back. How does it feel to be back?
Well,
It's a bit different this time.
I've been quite intrigued, and I found your episodes quite exciting. So I thought it was good to come back. I think I was your guinea pig.
Yeah.
Now
I've had a few.
I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
ready. And I think our first one was audio.
Yeah, exactly. It was just audio. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So for this, I wanted to do a deep dive into your work in your foundation, so the Tony Elumelu Foundation, because I think people hear about a lot of the different investments you do, but I just wanted to focus on your philanthropic.
More on humanity.
Yeah, like more on that. So I think it'd be helpful if we could start with, when did you found the foundation and what was it originally founded to do? I think a lot of people know about the famous entrepreneurship program now and like the 5,000 USD that entrepreneurs get, but what were you trying to do when you started out with the foundation?
I think the journey dates back to 2010 when I was transitioning from UBA to the next phase of my life. And I thought it was time to start impacting humanity in a more profound way. Seeing it from the journey of my own life and my own story. As Tony Elumelu, who grew up with, I won't say with silver spoons, you know,
Okay.
but with hard work, determination, God's grace, and luck, I've managed to make some success in business world. So I thought it would be nice to help democratize luck, the luck I experienced growing up, to create the opportunity for others. I was born in Nigeria, school in Nigeria, work here, and I've seen all around me that there are talented young Africans, young men and women who can do even more and greater things if they had the opportunity. So I felt the second phase of my life, you know, which started in 2010, should be dedicated to that. So that's how the foundation started. I discussed with my wife, who happens to be your mom, and I said we should commit a part of our resources. And I must say, not out of abundance of it, but just out of the commitment, shared commitment and determination to help others. And the realization that poverty anywhere is a threat to all of us everywhere. And the further realization that what counts at the end of the day is not how much you have in your bank account, but the impact and legacy you're able to make. So based on this convention, we decided to set as $100 million to help democratize luck, to help create the next generation of African leaders who will help to develop our continent. Because I've often believed that no one but us will develop Africa, and our young ones, they need role models.
Yeah.
They need a helping hand, because all of us are where we are today because we got, at some point in time in our career, a helping hand. Today, your mom told me that Chief Banigo's wife, Beleba Banigo, brought food for me. Those are the people who gave me the start,
original
so to say, you know, that has helped to create today to need meal. And so for me, I'm like, how do I pay it forward? How do I support others so that they too in future can say, but for Tony Elumelu, I won't be where I am today. That to me is impactful. That is the kind of legacy we want to leave behind. So it is all of this that drove the need to set up the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And I'm looking back, not that you asked, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the accomplishments.
Okay.
You know, I mean, when I go around Africa and I see young men and women who are just starting another phase of their life based on the support they got from the foundation, I'm gladdened by this. I almost every gathering of young people in Africa, even in across the world, diaspora, once I enter a plant, there are like 50 to 100 young people. You're sure to see one beneficiary of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And so that to me is exciting. So it's looking back,
it must be very rewarding.
Thank God for the wisdom setting it up.
Okay, thank you for answering the question, and even more than the question. I wanted to also ask about, okay, so we've heard that you set up a foundation. You've told us the glossy story of how you thought of it from conception to...
It's not glossy, the real story.
Exactly. I wanted to ask, if you can share some of the actual difficulties that come with, okay, deciding you want to go into philanthropy, and like, how do you structure it so that
let me tell you,
sustainable? Like, what are the difficulties one might find?
As you know, in this part of the world, almost everything, every initiative is fraught with difficulties.
Yeah.
It's almost like our system is set up not to be supportive.
Yeah.
So we just started, we registered it, trustees, your mom and I, and one of my friends are lectured, 3 of us as trustees of the foundation. And then the next thing was we had to advertise. I think we advertised in The Economist for a CEO. Then for a CEO, because, you know, for me, that's critical. I've always believed that great ideas per se don't create significant changes. What makes the difference is having the right person to execute your vision.
Right.
So we had the vision, but we needed the right person. So we advertised in Times and in Economists. Why did we choose Economists and not local newspapers? We chose Economists because right from the start, we wanted to create an international philanthropic organization that will, I wouldn't say compete, but create the level of impact that the Rockefeller, the Ford Foundation, the Carnegie Foundation, the part they've created. So we decided that we will not just handpick anyone as CEO. We needed the best. We appointed, we advertised, we created a recruitment agency, and we got very good quality CVs. We finally zeroed in on someone, Wibabua, who was the CEO, then who was regional exec for the, he was running a Rockefeller Foundation in Kenya. So we now hired him, a PhD history, Dutch, Nigerian, and we thought he impressed us at the interview, and we thought he would be a good pioneer CEO for the foundation, and that's how we started. And another thing to tell you, most foundations before us used to see executive director. So that's the foundation that had the living founders.
Right.
But I said no. I want us to have a real chief executive officer. And so I took a backseat as the founder, your mom co-founder, and then we let Dr. Wibabua run the foundation. I must say, he and his team, they built a solid foundation that the foundation continued to run today. So it was, I would say the most challenging part was not the money per se, but finding the right people. And we brought a lot of Nigerians back from different schools, Kennedy School, different Nigerian schools to come set up the foundation. And they all did a great job.
Yeah. No, that's really inspiring to hear that you were able to bring back Nigerians or people from the continent, from all the great places you're in, but come and help build something at home. And I hear what you're saying as well about it's very important the team you pick to execute what you want to do.
No, listen, in business, also in philanthropy, everywhere, vision is one thing, but what made the real difference is assembling the right people. And then being able to share the vision with the right people, having them own the vision and going and then executing it.
Yeah.
That is what we've done. And, if you look back today to think of, we started the Tony Elumelu Foundation 15 years ago. Today we have global partners, UNDP, United Nations Development Program, the European Union,
different governments,
different government, even American government, etc. All having partnership with us, the International Red Cross, some African entrepreneurs, business leaders, and and the government saying, let's work together to catalyze or to support more of the young African entrepreneurs. For the first time, we're finding a solution for African problem from within.
Yeah.
No one sitting somewhere and they want to tell us what you need to do. And this is a classical case of African capital, working to catalyze prosperity and economic development for all on the continent. And we also, another critical decision we made was, we could have set up a traditional NGO, just feed people, do scholarship, etc. But we thought we needed to correct a paradigm shift. We needed to correct this syndrome, perpetual syndrome of dependency.
Like aid, for instance. Yeah.
So we needed to arm people. The best way we thought was, that is applying our business acumen to philanthropy. We thought was, just teach people how to take care of themselves, rather than giving them money or dash or aid consistently.
Yeah.
And that's what we have done. So once we give you non-refundable seed capital, we train you, $5,000 non-refundable, we train you, we set you free. And I say to them, the success, the thank you I want from you is for you to succeed.
Yeah.
Because your success means a lot for Africa, and your success means creating more jobs on the continent. Your success means creating increased economic activity on the continent. And your success means all of us from different angles working together to fix Africa. Because fixing Africa is not one man's job. And fixing Africa is not just about government. And that's why I talk about Africapitalism. Everyone coming together, private sector, government, friends of Africa. Let's work together to create the enabling environment that would propel growth, catalyze economic prosperity, create social wealth, create jobs for our young people. I have often said that joblessness is a betrayal of a generation. We cannot have people who go to school, etc., come out and then find jobs.
Yeah.
That is one of the reasons why the kind of challenges we have, the type of challenge we have on the continent. So unless and until all of us working together, the rich, the successful, the big private sector leaders, and the small middle-scale enterprises, working together, we will not come out of this situation.
Yeah. Thank you for answering the question. It's very, very detailed. You're clearly very used to this interview thing. You already touched on some things I wanted you to further elaborate on, like democratizing luck. So I wanted to ask you about the role of international collaborations. So this year we've seen you travel a lot to a lot of African countries, to the Middle East quite a few times, like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Europe, America. And we're always hearing about partnerships or announcements of you're working with this government or this body. So how do you feel that these collaborations really help to amplify the work you do at the foundation to help support?
I think that question is very pertinent, and for me, I think one of the most important ones. They all are very good. But you see, I am driven by certain beliefs. One, that no one but us will love Africa. Two, that people do business with friends, people they know, people they like. That's when they collaborate. Thirdly, that partnership is key for success, either in business, or private sector, or in both. And that in the 21st century, we need, as Africans, we need to realize that we must lead. We must demonstrate confidence in our economy, in our continent, for others to follow. If I go to say to people, I need you to help us empower young African entrepreneurs or young African, they will ask me, what have you done yourself on the continent?
Right.
So what we are doing is in Africa, for Africa. In Africa, for Africa, and with collaboration from and with Friends of Africa. So I have seen that in the today's world, we need to improve collaboration between the global South. So for me, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, these are great countries that are willing to collaborate, partner, with African business leaders, African philanthropists to make a difference on the continent. And we're taking advantage of that. In Europe, we have pockets of them too. From France, Norway.
Yeah.
Most of these guys are also interested in improving the relationship with Africa. So what I do, and I've been doing, is taking the message out there, telling the world that Africa should sit at the table. We have to be at the table where issues that concern us have been discussed.
Yeah.
For instance, the climate change conversation. You can't be talking about climate change for Africa, on behalf of Africa, without Africa sitting at the table. So I say this, and that's why when President Biden and King Charles hosted the global leaders of climate issues who were at the table, I represented Africa. When President Macron had a similar event, we were at the table. I was one of the representatives of Africa. So the world is changing, and we are taking the message to the world, and also telling the world that in the 21st century, the way you look at Africa, I see Africa must change from how it used to be before. We have today people who have resources on the continent, who are enlightened, who are educated, and also people who want the best for everyone, especially on the continent. But the good thing, the world is listening. There was a vacuum before.
Definitely.
And we're doing so. Just a few days ago, I hosted 6 bipartisan congressional leaders from America, and it was quite exciting, sitting down with them, discussing issues between Nigeria and America, issues between America and Africa. One of the critical points we spoke about was AGOA, and I was quite impressed that they said we should watch out in January, in Q1, January to February. They said between January and February that we hear a congressional passing of a bill that could be very exciting to help Africa in terms of trade and geometry, etc. So these are the issues we take to the table. We take issue, we tell the world that access to electricity is poor in Africa, that you cannot talk about digital revolution without improving access to electricity in Africa. But that we don't hold them accountable for our situation, our circumstance. But we believe that we can all together collaboratively fix this issue. Because, as I said earlier, if you don't fix it, if Africans are left behind in this new or next digital revolution, the world might not have peace.
Yeah.
Because in Africa, if you look at the demographics and you see the population, etc., we must think about these young Africans and what they're going to do in the future. If they are not integrated or brought into the measurement, it will be chaotic for everyone. So those are the messages consistently that I take to the world. Because for me, it's no longer about Tony Elumelu or his family.
Sure.
It's more about the impact we can create for a whole generation of Africa who could easily miss out of all of this happening in the world today. So we're just starting, we'll do more.
So thank you for answering all my questions so far. We're nearly done. My next question is, where do you see the foundation going in the next 10 to 15 years? Are you thinking we'll see new types of initiatives that you're working on, or iterations of the same?
I think what we are doing is not just a fad.
Yeah.
We are purpose-driven.
Yes.
And the purpose is to
It remains the same.
The purpose is to help create economic prosperity in Africa by supporting young Africans. Every year, we get over 300,000 applications. And because of resource constraint, we are only able to support about 5,000, 3,000, between 3,000 and 5,000 every year.
Yeah.
So if it's minuscule, if 350,000, 400,000 people are applying, and you're only able to support, say, 5,000, it tells you we are just getting started.
Right.
It tells you, so there's no question of next 10 years, next 50 years.
That's so true.
I want to be able to at least meet a third, if not a quarter, a third or a quarter of the applicants.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, the foundation is set up to help democratize luck. But with 400,000 people apply and only 5,000 get successful, then you're killing luck. You're not democratizing it. So the ambition, the intent is to keep increasing the number that we're able to support. So as our businesses succeed, we increase the number. There was a time we were doing only 1,000.
Yeah.
Because the $100 million is exhausted.
Exactly.
At the time, we were doing only 1,000. Now, this last one, we're able to scale up to 5,000. Our
That's
group
amazing.
companies, the exodus group companies alone, are now able to support over 3,500. So as we prosper in business, we want to continue to do more. And that's why it's about shared destiny, mutual destiny. And, shared, if we succeed, people on the continent succeed with us. And so there's no question of what we're going to have in the next 10 years and 15 years. And this is why my messaging is getting stronger.
Yeah.
The advocacy is getting stronger. I'm saying to the world, in the 21st century, we know how you can intervene in Africa to help create maximum impact. It's no longer about handouts.
Yeah.
It's about partnership. It's about working together. It's about identifying a young one. It's about giving them economic opportunity and hope so that they don't embrace extremism.
Yeah.
So that all of us will be working from our different, we need to see our young one optimize their natural talent. If you're a singer, you're a musician, you are a cobbler, you are a vulcanizer, whatever the calling is, let's create the right environment that make you become the best. If you look at today's great European companies, American companies, the Benetton, even Apple, even Microsoft, how did they start in garages? How many people in Africa will start in garages like that and go far? So we need to provide resources, but as we provide resources, we need to also get our government accountable. We need to get our government to create the enabling environment that will allow the average young person in Africa to succeed as much as it is our counterpart in America or in Europe or in Asia or what we're seeing today in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So that until and unless we accomplish this in our lifetime and even beyond, there's no stopping.
Yeah, that was very powerful. And I really like how you touched on, you acknowledge that there can be that unintended consequence, that although you are doing all this good work at times, it could kill the idea of luck because so many people don't get the seed capital or the training. So that's really inspiring to hear that, well, really the mission is not done. So the next 10, 15 years, that's too short of a time frame. We're definitely... Thank you. And then my final question, what about your work? You've already kind of touched on it, but what about the work that you do in the foundation? What's the most rewarding aspect or the bit that brings you the most joy?
The what brings me the most joy when I see smiles, happiness, accomplishment with dignity in the faces of young Africans. I bring dignity because it's very important.
Yeah.
When you're giving someone something to help the person look after himself and his family, it comes with dignity. Than when someone is always begging, looking up to you to survive. Okay. So what we do at the foundation, we're bringing dignity back to humanity. We're giving people the opportunity to say, I pay school fees for my children. Not that someone has given me money to pay school for my children. We believe in sustainability. We believe that what the best thing you can do to anyone, especially our young ones, is for them to embrace the concept, philosophy, and discipline of hard work. And for them to take their faith and destiny in their hands. You say, we'll give you $5,000. We're going to train you 12-week training to enable you know how to manage our resources. We're going to appoint mentors for you, and we're going to help you create a digital networking opportunity and platform, and we'll expose you.
Yeah.
That is what a young man or woman needs. So I would say that is what gives me. So oftentimes you see people, at time when I go, they say they give me gift. When I did my 50th birthday,
what I do.
all kind of gifts, and from the heart, just to say, someone said, I mean, I hear this story every day.
Testimonials, we feel them.
Like a few months ago in October, I was in the IMF World Bank annual meeting, and one young lady from, I think, Tunisia or Algeria is on social media. Just walked up to me. I thought, when I go to
I saw it on the Instagram.
When I go to places, oftentimes people want to say, can we take pictures of it? I thought she wanted to take pictures. So I said, okay, come. He said, no, I want to say thank you to you.
Oh.
I turned. He said, thank you for what? He said, I'm a beneficiary of Tony Elumelu Foundation from North Africa. And she just said, I had lost hope in life.
Oh.
And the $5,000 I got from your foundation changed my life. Look at all the things I've accomplished. Come on, what can give you more joy than that?
Definitely.
And a feeling of accomplishment as well, that you are helping to bring happiness, joy, and most importantly, self-reliance, self-independence, and self-confidence to a young one.
Yeah.
And not just a young one, an Arab, Muslim lady from North Africa. I never knew from any. I did not even know I touched her life for.
Exactly.
That to me is a redefining legacy. And that to me was a redefining moment. And those are things that give me excitement and happiness.
Oh, I have chills. Thank you very